Coming up on Small Town Big Deal.
Is it getting hot in here?
We get the scoop on what sets this blistering business apart from the rest if we don't burn the house down first. We get crackin' as one town celebrates its heritage by making a 5,000 egg omelet.
Then we go undercover to find out the salty secrets of this small town success story.
How about that one right there?
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
You know, in our travels across the country, sometimes we come across stories that we just have a burning desire to tell.
We're about ready to serve up one of those now. It's a story about something that will truly help you spice up your salsa, put some burning heat in your barbecue, and, well, literally help you wage war on boring hot wings.
That look on Rodney's face says it all.
Okay, let's try another one.
We're getting a taste of what life is like inside the factory of the General's hot sauce. And let me tell you, business is blazing.
Man.
Ever since they unpacked their first bin of cayenne peppers in the capital city of Columbia, South Carolina in 2016.
So that first year, how many bottles did you manufacture?
Not very many, maybe 6,000 or 7,000 bottles.
And how many are you making now?
We're into the millions now.
Into the millions.
We're into the millions now.
Wow, that's huge. Is it true that this whole thing came about at a tailgate at the Army-Navy game?
It is true. We all donated money to help military and veteran organizations. The idea was, why don't we donate some of that money to fund a business, a chunk of whose profits we could then continue to donate.
But you just didn't know what?
Well, we had a friend who's a general in the Marine Corps, who remains nameless, by the way, who was making buffalo wings for us all day. And someone pointed at him and said, that guy deserves his own hot sauce company. 10 years later, here we are.
The General's Hot Sauce not only donates a meaningful amount of their profits to organizations that help veterans, but they also employ service members.
I've been in the Marine Corps Reserve for over 10 years now.
I was in the Marine Corps from 2010 to 2016.
What's the hardest thing that you know of about transitioning back to civilian life?
I think what makes it just overall really hard to prepare anyone for it is that you lose your family when you get out.
Working here provides that much-needed sense of family. In fact, their motto is, there's only one team.
So what makes the General's hot sauce special?
Other than the obvious, the people that are here. As far as the product goes, we grow all our own peppers about 40 minutes away from here. We also grow in Louisiana.
So all American farmers?
Every bottle from now until the end of time.
And we have to talk about that award-winning bottle. It's in the clever shape of a hand grenade, and all their sauces have military-related names, such as Hoo-Yah Jalapeno or Assault Weapon. Each bottle packs 86% peppers. That's far, far more than the average brand.
We figured if we're going to do it, let's go all in.
Hot sauce is a billion-dollar industry in the United States alone. And the production line at General's has come a long way to keep up with demand.
Yeah, we started with 44 bottles an hour with milkshake blenders and pitchers and funnels.
And how fast are you now?
So we're up to about 32 a minute.
Wow.
These pepper pros make bottling and capping look easy. But we find out it's a lot like playing hot potato. Oh, black is slimming.
All right, turn it on, burn that first one. All right, now plug it with the left. All right, now put that right here. Au natural, how about that one?
Man, this is tiring. If I miss that one time, it's going to be all over me. So there's a lot of pressure not to drop one or break one, because I would have never heard the end of it from Jann.
He is so making that up.
Who's doing better, me or her?
You.
I don't know.
I'm pitching a perfect game over here and you don't know?
It looked like Rodney has been doing that his whole life. Till the end, then Dan had to come in and save it.
Oh, no!
Oh, man! We didn't make too much of a mess. We all came out on the other end okay.
Well, so far, because now it's time to test our taste buds. Peppers are ranked by Scoville heat units. A sweet bell pepper scores 0 units, while the world's hottest pepper, the Carolina Reaper, can exceed more than 2 million units. Thankfully, we don't have to face the Reaper, but each sauce we taste is gonna get hotter.
When I saw Rodney's face after he tasted the first one, Grunt Green, I knew he was in trouble.
I'm either gonna have to quit or get a water bottle.
Their bestseller, Danger Close, pushes Rodney dangerously close to the edge, even as Dylan takes it easy on him.
Oh, wait, let's just show the camera.
No, we're not showing the
show
camera.
He had like this much.
But let's give Rodney credit. He even tackles their most lethal sauce, shock and awe.
Okay, there it's kicking in a little bit.
There it is.
Jen did a lot better than me, but she's hot and spicy. Me, not hot and spicy.
If you have a hankering for hot, go to generalshotsauce.com. You won't just be spicing up your life, you'll be helping our nation's veterans.
The dream for us that we talk about when there's no cameras in the building is someday the big golf course check for $1 million. We want to make $1 million donation someday, but everything we do every day, we think about that veteran community, and we want to be as helpful as we can.
And with that kind of red-hot passion, it won't be long before it's mission accomplished. Coming up next on Small Town Big Deal.
We get crackin' as one town celebrates its heritage by making a 5,000 egg omelet.
Woo! That's awesome!
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. You know, Napoleon sparked a tradition that's not only alive and well in France, but right here in Abbeville, Louisiana.
That's right. Now get this. It involves over 5,000 eggs, about 52 pounds of butter.
Wow.
Yeah, now we're talking. And a town filled with tons of enthusiasm and a lot of pride.
And it's called the Friendship Omelet. It's no secret that folks around here know how to party.
But in Abbeville, about 140 miles west of New Orleans and deep in the heart of Cajun country, the town celebrates its French heritage in the most exceptional way by putting on its annual giant omelet celebration.
Arlene, how exactly did this get started?
Legend has it that Napoleon brought his army into a little town in southern France called Bessières, and he said that he needed for the community to gather up all the eggs and make an omelet for them to feed the army.
Feed the army.
Feed the army. So they did that.
For years, that tiny French town has recreated its brush with Napoleonic glory by making a giant omelet every Easter and serving it to the poor.
That celebration came to Abbeville's attention by chance when in 1984, Olga and Emery Toops stopped in Bessières while on a bus tour of France.
My husband said, we're going to have one in Abbeville. And we came back and he started this.
Today, Abbeville is one of only 7 French-speaking communities around the world that celebrates Les Omelettes Géants.
We do one in Canada, one in Belgium, 2 in France, 1 in Argentina, believe it or not.
Awesome.
There is another one in New Caledonia near Australia, which is number 7.
Visitors enjoy plenty of good Cajun cooking, an arts and crafts fair, and exciting family fun.
Thank you!
It all starts off at St. Mary Magdalene Catholic Church with a mass full of pomp and pageantry that includes a blessing of the eggs.
Then it's on to the town square and the procession of chefs.
Well, guys, y'all ready to light it?
We're ready.
Let's light the fire.
And once the temperature is good and hot, a forklift moves the 12-foot steel skillet into position.
A 12-foot skillet? I think it's your turn to do the dishes.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. But while that skillet's heating up, there are 5,000 eggs waiting. So let's get to cracking.
We start off with 5,000 eggs, and we add 1 egg for every year we've been in existence. So this year it's 5,032. It's our 32nd year.
Okay.
We do start with a base of butter, and that's 52 pounds of butter.
Woo!
6 gallons of milk, and I don't have all the specifics of it, but bell pepper, celery, onions.
Woo! Oh, I think I got onion down my shirt.
Only official chevaliers or knights of the order get to stir, but they made an exception for us.
Watch out, don't hit me in the head.
For that local Cajun touch, crawfish tails were added in. And then it's time for the eggs, all 5,032 of them.
Woo! That's awesome! That is so awesome! Or did you see you actually pulled it in from the other side? It was like a tidal wave of eggs.
It almost came
Almost went over the edge.
So what do you think with Jan and I helping cook? Do you think it's going to be a little better today?
Oh my God, I think it's going to be awesome.
Looking good. We're almost there.
Another 10 minutes. Should be ready.
The chefs do a final taste test.
It is wonderful, just like it's been for the last 31 years. Yay!
And now, the omelet is served.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Oh, that's good. Oh, good. There's more where that came from. There's definitely more where that came from.
We came all the way from Minnesota to eat these.
Here you go.
Hey, 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 hey. How would you describe this town and their pride and how they come together every year for this event?
It's just a great camaraderie. On Omelet Weekend, you have people from all walks of life that on Omelet Weekend put down their professions and stand side by side and have a great, great festival and give a great gift to the city.
Making some more people happy.
How proud would your husband be that it's continuing and it's going to continue?
This morning in church, I said, how proud.
I know he would be so proud. So proud.
To see, you know, it's still going because of him.
Coming up, how a Michigan family turns small potatoes into big business.
Wow, they come down really fast.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. Do you know how many pounds of potato chips that Americans eat each year?
Now, if you're thinking it's just in the hundreds of millions, you'd be wrong.
Yeah, because it's 1.5 billion pounds.
There's no slacking when it comes to snacking on chips. I mean, heck, Rodney thinks it's a food group.
Hey, it is a vegetable.
The potato chip. It continues to be the top salty snack seller in the U.S., recently taking in $7.5 billion in yearly sales.
The creation of the first chip is debated, but the most popular tale comes from Saratoga Springs, New York. Way back in 1853, a Saratoga restaurant cook named George Crumb faced an unhappy customer. This guy kept sending back his French fried potatoes, claiming they were too thick. George got so frustrated, he sliced some razor thin and fried them till they were crispy. Well, to his surprise, the customer loved him, and the Saratoga chip, later known as the potato chip, was born.
Whether the story is fact or fable, the tradition and pride of locally produced chips lives on today.
This is the Great Lakes Potato Chip Company, so named for obvious reasons.
Because these chips are great.
True, Rodney, but it's also located on one of the Great Lakes. Lake Michigan in Traverse City, to be exact. Population about 15,000, located about 140 miles north of Grand Rapids.
Ed is the owner of this operation along with his son. They ran a successful pizzeria in town for years, but one day they got a hankering to try the manufacturing side of the food business.
My son Chris and I were sitting around one day and he said, well, Dad, what do you like? And I said, well, besides pizza, I really like potato chips. He said, okay, let's look at potato chips.
Ed and Chris did a little research and found out there was only one local chip maker in Michigan at the time.
The way it started was we loaded a small crate in the back of this pickup truck, drove 110 miles down to the farmer, got our truck in line with all the semis. We got our 1,500 pounds of potatoes. The semis are getting 40,000 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
We drove back to the plant here. We had 2 part-time employees. We had 1 fryer, 1 old bagger that you had to constantly kick to get it to run.
Make it work.
Exactly.
And while they might have started out as small potatoes, these Michigan-made chips are now shipped into 6 other states and even into Canada. They can't bag them fast enough.
Now, one of the things that we do is we leave the skins on all of our potato chips.
Well, my mom says that's where all the vitamins are.
Mommy is right, but we do it because it just tastes better.
They are pretty heavy.
Despite the explosive growth of Great Lakes potato chips, they still buy nearly all of their potatoes from a local Michigan farmer. Now, after a quick bath, they're dipped out by hand and fed into the slicer 1 bucket at a time.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is 1 powerful slicer.
In just a few seconds, 5 gallons of potatoes are sliced and into the fryer.
Great Lakes is very picky about its chips, so in addition to carefully salting, there's also the selecting.
We weed out the ones that don't make the cut.
Wow, they come down really fast.
I think Americans love variety as much as they love their chips.
So, of course, Ed and his son have experimented with different flavors.
We did 3 flavors initially. It was our original flavor, which is just a sea salted chip. Then we did a barbecue chip and a salt and vinegar.
Now, Traverse City is known for its cherries and their huge cherry festival held every year.
We do have a cherry chip.
You do?
See?
Need I say more?
So we made that just locally. We sold it in the local stores for a couple of years, but the demand continued to increase for it and increase. And so now we make it in 2 different size bags and we ship it all over the country.
Great Lakes even started making a new product that's not potato at all.
Tortilla!
Grab a stack.
To make tortilla chips, the spuds are replaced with round corn tortillas that are cut by hand into triangles.
Oh! Just stop with that.
Just like the regular chips, the tortillas are constantly stirred in the fryers to keep them from sticking together. They're even seasoned and sorted so no bad chips make it to the bagger.
You know, the quality control part, that was kind of stressing me out because honestly, I never met a chip I didn't like.
Man, these guys are great, but I'm glad they're only here 1 day. They're going to eat me out of house and home.
So we aren't great at slicing or seasoning or sorting for that matter.
But we are good at eating, and surely we can handle packing and shipping.
You guys did do a great job, but you know, you do realize that Natisha does this by herself. Now that you guys have bagged everything, we got them all stacked in the boxes here. We're just going to get them wrapped up and take them over to the shipping.
Oh my goodness, she started wrapping me? I thought I was going to end up in Florida.
That's the problem. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Ed's retired, and now he starts a potato chip factory with his son, and look at all the jobs he's created. The American dream right here.
And I salute Rodney, who is certainly doing his part to keep their demand high.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
Well, how did you like making potato chips?
I loved it, but not as much as you enjoyed eating them.
Hey, I had to get all those overcooked ones out, and they're my very favorite.
And Rodney and I want to give a big shout out to the General's hot sauce because it's just a genius idea to put it in a bottle shaped like a hand grenade.
Yeah, that's great, and it is explosive in more ways than one. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jann Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America. What exactly is a chevalier?
Chevalier.
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 Oh, is that good?
Oui.
I'm not spilling a drop.
How could you spill a drop? All you do is put the lids on.
It can happen.
It can happen.